Oh, what is going on, everyone? Weekly Verdict, JML here. Charlie over there.
Sign language. Frank here.
Episode 7.
Episode 7. All right.
That's sign language.
I knew what you were doing.
uh, Fire Frank down below. Shades on, as usual, for me, because I'm the cool guy.
That's right.
The cool guy.
Sure.
It's been a slow news week, huh? Not a lot going on.
Yep.
Man.
Boring, man.
All right, I guess we'll just end the show now.
Thanks for tuning in.
Just thanks for tuning in.
Share, subscribe.
Oh no, there's plenty of inside and outside the ring happenings going on in the world of pro wrestling. First, and I'm still confused by this. Can anyone tell me the difference between NXT UK and NXT Europe?
I think so. It means we're finally going to get an NXT Italian champion for our people. So I'm pretty excited
for our people. But I mean, other than that, what's the difference? They had people from all over Europe competing in NXT UK. I'm a little confused by this.
I don't know if if their deal with BT ended or something, because that was supposedly why it was being kept alive, because they had that TV deal. It seems like they just want to shut down that UK PC and just tape this show wherever they want. That's what it seems to me. And right now, everybody of note has been transplanted to NXT proper for the time being. So I don't know.
Like, what's the roster going to look like? The television presentation, is it going to look like Nickelodeon NXT? Is that what we're going to get, Charlie?
Hopefully not. I think that under Triple H's branding, we're not going to get another Nickelodeon NXT. Hopefully, and this is just another small step to taking NXT all over the world. I'm sure we'll see NXT Mexico or NXT Canada or what have you after this.
That was Triple H's visual plan. I know that, to really expand. I don't think the rest of the company was as big into it as he was.
I don't understand why the next move wasn't NXT Japan.
Yeah.
They did try that at one point, I know. Or they tried to buy some companies. Yeah, well, all it means right now, guys, is that we have a special coming up, Worlds Collide, and it means that we're having a lot of the talent from the UK that was willing to or able to come to the US is going to stick around on 2.0 for the time being. So that's something, I guess.
It's something. I'm confused at the rebranding of the brand.
I mean, the funny thing is, most of the talent, not everybody was even from the UK anymore. So I don't know.
It was essentially NXT Europe anyways.
Yeah. I don't know if they think it's just a way to get more eyes on it. I mean, I don't think that's going to be the case. It's just it's been extra content for the network, Peacock. I know most people aren't watching it. I have, because it's an hour show usually, or less than an hour. Pretty solid wrestling, nothing too crazy. I can understand why people don't bother. Much like Rampage. But far less, far less than Rampage.
On the verge of being canceled.
But still, probably far less eyes on the UK product than
yeah.
I think that the biggest note this week was them deciding to spoil their own tournament that's ongoing.
Yes.
Which I already knew. But
I don't even watch NXT, and I'm like, wait, aren't they supposed to have a tournament for that title?
Yeah, it just started a week ago.
Well,
and spoiler alert, everybody that's in it except for a few are actually no longer under contract as we speak.
Man, I just
Yeah, there's not much else to say about it. Well, I guess I mean the special coming up should be good with some of the potential matchups, but we'll see. I guess.
listen. We're here to give the honest takes. I mean, we've been
Absolutely.
WWE fanboys since the Triple H, takeover, so to speak. But I'm extremely confused with this whole NXT situation still. Whether it's regular NXT, NXT Europe, NXT Nickelodeon, whatever, it all confuses me at this point. Uh Hopefully there's a focused direction, singular direction with the presentation of NXT, and maybe that's why they're doing this rebranding. But hopefully, the Nickelodeon NXT that we get on USA Network um, goes away slowly, and we don't. There was nothing wrong with the black and gold brand.
No.
There was nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it.
If there was problems with ratings, if they were worried about that, it wasn't because of the look. Although there were some people who didn't like them in that smaller area. Well, not that Full Sail was huge, but a lot of people didn't like them doing it out of the PC. The product has been better. Like, there's still a lot of stupid stuff going on, but it's developmental. Like, I'm one of the few people that still enjoys the show, even though some of the silly stuff I don't, not so much. But I think we'll see a difference. It's not going to be even as drastic as quickly as we've noticed on Raw and SmackDown. It's going to be a while before his vision of who we're recruiting. I know he's probably going to recruit more indie talent now than they were willing to do before.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. I know Sean just got promoted this week as well. It's another big news.
Yes.
He's been running this for the last year in his absence, but he's got an actual title now, so that's cool.
What is the title, Frank?
He's like vice president of talent development. I don't know the exact title. Again,
Vice president of creative. So D-Generation X.
They're running the show here, guys.
They're creative. They're telling the whole industry to suck it, baby.
Just like we drew it up years ago, right? We knew this was happening.
I do have a Tony Khan reply to a tweet.
Ah, nice. Awesome. Just getting upset we didn't have anything lately.
That weekly segment.
Boom, 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 boom. I'm Tony Khan. I love Twitter. All right. So let's take a look at this elegant reply. Actually, it's pretty funny. Bum. So now I'm pretty sure Charlie has no idea what this tweet even means. So are truth busters like Tony Khan parodying himself, like Ari is him, Slim J representing the indie darlings he signed, Parker representing ex-WWE guys, and now Sonny aligning with them despite getting destroyed by them. TK is pretty self-aware. I could totally see him. Reply, hashtag AEW Rampage.
I know what that means. You mean, man? I was about to call it TNA. I watch AEW enough to understand that tweet.
You can read mine's GIF from Zoolander. What would we rate this tweet reply out of 10? I think this is a 10. This is great.
Good.
Man.
It's one of his more, sensible replies that we've seen, shall we say.
It would have, would have even been greater if, like, he replied to that and did, like, a Tony Montana doing a bunch of cocaine tweet reply underneath.
I'd be really self-aware.
That would have been fucking great. It's kind of a trip that he's replying to tweets when apparently, and I guess we'll get into it now, there's a whole lot of stuff going on in AEW. You have the return of Kenny Omega, which they needed. They definitely needed. It's a shot in the arm. But the biggest news happened in the ring and out of the ring. Let's break down what is being called AEW Civil War. We got sides divided. We have FTR with CM Punk and that whole crew. We got the Hangman, Dark Order, Omega, Moxley crew squaring off. We don't know if this is real. This is a work. It's a combination of both. But let me tell you something. Hold on to your seats, both of you.
I told you. You do that.
This is the best thing to happen to AEW in a long time, but it could also potentially be the worst. Charlie, take us through Punk's promo with Moxley in the ring on Dynamite.
So CM Punk came out and he called out Hangman Adam Page, knowing that he wasn't going to come out because this wasn't written in the script. He went on to say, "Okay, that portion of my promo is done. Let's talk shit about Moxley." He kept talking shit about Moxley, called him the second best John he was going to beat in Chicago, and the third best member of the, well, he worded it differently, but he ultimately called him the third best member of the Shield, which is an ongoing thing in John's career because he's the third best member in the Blackpool Combat Club, which led to Moxley coming out. And oh boy, talk about swing and a miss. This was just not Moxley's best work at all. He came out trying to be a badass. It's like, oh, guys, watch out. Pipe bombs falling from CM Punk. I'm just sitting there like shaking my head like you can do better than that. And what did he say?
Well,
he had another really bad line. I can't even remember it. But then Punk put him in his place saying, "I'd touch you before All Out, but I'm afraid you just bleed all over the place." Yeah. We'll all go over it now, but that was basically the outline of it.
The analogy that I would have for Moxley replying or his rebuttals back to CM Punk is like, when you were in kindergarten and you would do nana nana poo poo and then like run away. That's basically the Moxley rebuttals. I don't know what happened to Moxley, but he's just, I don't know.
He's never been a great promo, but this was just sad. CM Punk was so above him in this promo. It's not even funny.
Yeah, Frank.
Breakdown. Yeah, I think we discussed it while it was happening. You shot me a message, said something like, "This is the Punk that we've been missing,"
yeah,
or something to that effect. And I agree. Yeah, he was. The crowd was definitely oohing and ahhing. Although I always find that funny that they ooh and ah when he makes WWE references when they do that every week on AEW. But and then he took shots at Eddie Kingston for no apparent reason.
Oh, the Eddie Kingston one was great.
The second best Kingston I've been in the ring with, the third best Eddie, and it was like people were trying to figure out who he was. It was a good line.
Who is two, by the way?
What?
Who is two as far as Eddie's?
That's been a debate all week. We figured Guerrero.
Eddie Edwards?
Might be Eddie Edwards. I came up with Umaga Eddie Fatu. I don't know if I'm right. I know John Pollock had figured out that he wrestled a lot of matches with this guy named Eddie Vegas in the Indies. So I don't know.
You know Guerrero's won. It just
obviously. I think they just had the one match, but I mean he's gonna mention that.
Yeah,
like that was all cool. Like even if then all of a sudden, like I wasn't thinking anything of it, but then you're getting this story that he wasn't supposed to mention Paige. It didn't make any sense. Yeah, I do agree. Moxley was very, very weak here. He looked like a fool. The crowd, Punk was trying to be a heel, but he was coming off as the total baby face here to that crowd. So
because
it did make me interested in this match. The brawl they had, and then we will talk about later what's coming up. But yeah, I mean, as far as Punk held his own of the segment. If we're going to talk about just kayfabe wise, so as far as this Civil War, I don't know. I know. See, we know we're old, jaded wrestling fans, but our first response to anything is, "Oh, obviously this can't be real. This got to be a work, right?" We don't trust anything, especially with Punk because he loves to blur the lines, obviously, which is when he's at his best.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been very weird. Even the Paige feud, like some of the it has come across really weird. And I think I brought up on the show a couple weeks ago. Punk is one to not when he doesn't get his way. It's not like he's above acting like a child himself.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to bring up what else the scuttlebutt that's been online this week. We'll get more into it.
I have a feeling it's one of those things like, is it a work? Is it a shoot? Yes.
Yes.
I have a feeling it's going to be one of those things that starts off as a shoot and just turns into a work because it's too great to pass up on.
I think I agree with you, JML. Yeah, this probably is the best thing that's happened to him right now. It's got everybody talking. I expect next week them to actually have a big number with this show with all the controversy going on. I know this week they were actually shockingly down. So when that happens, that Tony Khan can't help himself. So he must have saw the future that he knew this number was going to be down because he booked an interesting main event for this week in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I think Cleveland.
I'm just a little thrown off because there's all this so-called unrest within AEW where, and I'm trying to pull it up, the exact quote. Let me see here. But I'll paraphrase. Apparently, there was talk, rumor, innuendo of Punk just walking out of AEW. I don't really believe that. I think Tony Khan, CM Punk are smart enough to work the dirt sheets. AEW has always been the dirt sheet approved wrestling organization since they created AEW. I feel like the Meltzers of the world, they're in on this too. What no one else is talking about, and I think I brought it up to both of you, you still have MJF on the sidelines for a very, very similar reason, with not liking the company and the direction of his character, this and that. Now you hotshot the pay-per-view main event, right, of Moxley and Punk. This is almost very reminiscent of a lot of different storylines we've seen in the past. Punk almost with this 1997 Bret Hart-esque character, right? The baby face who now is kind of a tweener, comes back as a tweener. You had Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was a heel, like dastardly heel, just like MJF. Who's to say that once Punk beats Moxley, spoiler alert, that's going to happen, there's no way Moxley's winning this match. that we don't see MJF come back next week and be the guy that takes on Punk. Or gets involved where it's see, the only thing that doesn't make sense is the Hangman thing. Other than Hangman, he blames Hangman for his injury. Can you guys tell me where Hangman fits in?
Well, first, I just wanted to backtrack. It's not going to be next week. Next week is going to be a no contest. We're not going to get an undisputed champion on Dynamite. So I agree with your theory that MJF could be there just waiting. But I think to bring MJF back, they should do it at All Out.
Okay.
As far as Hangman's concerned, do they have him be like shenanigans in the Dynamite match and make it a triple threat match at All Out? I don't know, but that's the only way that I can see him fit. Otherwise, he has no place.
You see, I don't like them having a triple threat match because let's just say Moxley doesn't get pinned in the triple threat match. Then the thing is, oh, well, I never technically lost my title. And I feel like that's a cop out. And it doesn't make Punk's reign look any better without beating Moxley clean and pinning him.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't do anything for Hangman either if he's the one that gets the pin. So it's a gets pinned. It's a no-win situation. But literally, the wrestling dirt sheets and media will report on anything weekly. We've literally heard nothing about MJF since May, since he left.
Yeah. If I can interject, I think I have a feeling that Punk obviously was supposed to be champ the whole summer. He was going to have his own feuds. I have a feeling that MJF may have been brought back around this time anyway. They had plans, maybe preliminary plans. The Hangman thing, that's where I kind of tend to believe some of this stuff that we're hearing because it doesn't make sense for him to bring him up at all. I mean, other than the fact that he never got another title shot, but there's really no reason. Hangman is like not even, as far as in terms of importance, the guy's hanging out. He's basically mid-card at this moment, right?
Yeah.
If that. He's just like, he's a prop with the Dark Order on BT and sometimes in this case, he was used as a kind of prop to further the Kenny returning storyline with the Bucks. That's about all he's done lately, right?
Yeah.
So I don't see how he fits in at all. What Charlie said about, we shouldn't expect there to be a finish in this match, but the problem is Tony Khan is so like adverse to doing non-finishes. The closest thing I can see is like the match just never happening at all. Like they never start the match. Now I don't think I like a triple threat either. I say if you're going to do this match now and this is a serious match and you're really going to, unify this title on Dynamite, right? The only thing I can see happening is MJF returning at the end of the show to lay out Punk and then doing the rubber match Punk and MJF in Chicago. The question then would be, would Punk get the win in his hometown or do you go for the heat? You put over MJF in Chicago, which would obviously make him again. So I don't know what you guys think about all these hypotheticals.
I think MJF should win the belt.
Oh yeah.
It would do wonders for the company. You have Punk as the chaser again. This time as a heel. It will probably get a Punk stable or faction. Because that's probably in the works. Because Tony Khan loves factions. We've seen that already. And Punk's not going to do this on his own. It's lining up where Punk's going to end up getting some muscle. Whether that's he ends up getting Wardlow and FTR with him.
Uh-huh.
I I don't think CM Punk is leaving AEW. I think that was just floated out there
No.
to gain traction, to gain eyeballs on
Yeah.
the product. Do I think CM Punk is a happy-go-lucky guy? No, he's not. He's not. He's not a happy-go-lucky guy. He's very mercurial. That's just how he is. Am I saying he's a terrible human being? No, he's not a terrible human being. Not everyone is happy-go-lucky. They're gonna, kiss babies and smile and wave. That's just not him. It's never been him.
Yeah.
That's not me either. I'm not that kind of person. Doesn't I'm not a terrible human being. He is very much like his idol, my idol, Bret Hart. He's very much like Bret Hart. Very much like Bret Hart. Charlie, do you agree with that statement?
Yeah.
Fire Frank.
No doubt, man. Without a doubt, I agree.
Do you know what happened a year ago today?
What's that?
A year ago today,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
what happened?
The Rampage with Punk.
The first dance.
Yep. So he made his return a year ago today. And for better or worse, AEW is actually slightly down with him. I think that also rubs him the wrong way. Frank, what do you think?
That if it runs from the wrong way, I can see that. I know that what's happened recently isn't really his fault. He got injured. He got injured. We still don't know when he got injured. There was rumors he got injured diving into the crowd on that Dynamite after he won the title. But I can see him, like you said, him being very much like Bret. That same kind of. He's got to be the guy, and if anything looks bad, he doesn't want to be thought of as not the guy that didn't draw or didn't do well. But part of it was just the way they presented him. Like you said, he's not a happy-go-lucky guy. At first, he was obviously in a better mood because he was happy to be back, and I think that was legit. He just he had some interesting matches, but he didn't really get any traction until, the Kingston feud leading into his chase for the title. And then obviously he gets hurt and he's out for 2 months. But yeah, I can see that for sure. But we're not saying it's just his fault why this has happened, but it is true. I know there's a lot of fans out there that are going to disagree with us. I know we have a lot of AEW first only fans, and that's fine.
AEW only stands?
Yeah, I hate using the term stand. I won't use that, but yeah. It's like I don't like using mark because it's like, come on, childish. But yeah, we're all marks, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do think this tweener pseudo heel character has obviously made it more interesting. Like you said, and you could easily see them doing the Pinnacle 2.0 with Punk and actually transitioning MJF into that kind of anti-hero role that Punk had for so long.
See, Charlie.
Charlie agrees.
No, Charlie does not agree.
You don't?
Charlie does not want to see a face MJF.
If we go by what you said earlier and have him be the same character, just have the crowd for him, then I'm for it. But if we totally switch him up to people pleaser MJF,
the Vince McMahon babyface champion.
Yeah, I'm against that.
He's got to be Rock circa 99,
Yeah.
But, or just Austin.
Or Stone Cold until like his first 2 years, I would say, after the turn.
Yeah.
It was pretty. I mean, he had a little interaction, but he wasn't like kissing up to this.
Yeah, this was the tweet that I had sent. Sources familiar with the situation claim CM Punk has often verbally expressed his displeasure. I mean, to me, that's not a news flash. That just seems like something he would do regularly.
Yeah.
And let's make this very clear, very, very clear for everyone watching. CM Punk is one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
He's probably he's definitely in my top 5. But I call it like it is. I'm very transparent, and I take the journalistic approach to this show on how I break things down. That's how he is. That's what makes him him. He's going to voice his displeasure. Whether he's right or wrong, he's going to express it. Including so blatant that they thought he might end up quitting AEW. One veteran said they heard of threats being levied. What the hell is happening? I think he's working the boys too in the back.
Yeah. Definitely.
What I don't understand, and we'll go back to this again. This is the question of the hour, is the question of the show. If anyone can answer this, please comment, because I don't think the 3 of us have come up with this. Where does Hangman fit? Where does Hangman fit in all of this?
My theory is all I could come up with for Hangman. I really don't know.
Right now, we can play a game of Hangman, theorizing what's coming on with Hangman.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can say is that I do believe that's true. That part of the story that was not planned, and he just said that.
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense because
Punk goes into business for himself often.
Yeah, as far as he is for complaining about how people are towards him, he certainly loves to make backhanded compliments of people.
Oh yeah,
maybe it was intentional in the way of getting Punk more over as this tweener heel character with the crowd, because he knows that the AEW loyalists love Hangman. Like, that's their guy, that's their baby face, and throwing that shot at Hangman, right? Where Hangman didn't even know what was going on, and you're blurring the lines here, is going to make the AEW core fan not like Punk, which will help get his character over. That's the only thing that I can theorize right now as to why that came out of left field and why it was Hangman. I mean, he could have thrown a shot at, I don't know, Chris Jericho. Like, it wouldn't have landed the same way as Hangman. It was almost a perfect person to pick on.
Yeah, because they look at him as their original guy. Going back to the Bullet Club, whatever. With Cody not being here, he's basically their guy. Him and Omega, of course, but he was the baby face, like you said.
Where do you think, I mean, besides the obvious that we're getting next week on Dynamite, the real question is, how much longer is CM Punk going to be wrestling?
He's not leaving. He's not leaving. And we don't know how long he's under contract for. I expect he's under quite an extended contract. But I don't see him leaving anytime soon.
There was even a theory that he would go back to WWE, and I was like, wait, why would he do that?
No.
Only if they gave him, like, in writing that this is what they were going to do with him and they're not deviating it. Otherwise, they'll get sued. That's the only way I can see that. Because I know they did talk to him, I know, before he signed with AEW. He did get an offer, but he said the offer wasn't good enough.
He's not a Triple H guy.
No.
By any means.
But he likes money like everybody else does.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could say. But yeah, I don't expect him to be jumping ship. As far as how long he's going to continue wrestling, I don't know. He's pretty beat up, and now he had a pretty significant injury this year. mean, what else does he have left to do outside of this reign? And I guess they can try to, use him to pass the torch to somebody, but who that would be.
We can always ask Tony Khan how long he has him under contract for.
Yeah, he didn't mention that. He mentioned certain people, not him. He specifically mentioned, Adam Cole, like Malachi, like guys that Triple H had signed and they got away,
I'm trying to find a video clip to play. Oh, man. Where is it? Do you know what video clip I'm trying to find?
No.
The CM Punk Triple H contract signing clip that was all over the internet. Now I can't find it. WWE's probably having a field day with it being posted all over the place. Oh, man.
Get that down, damn it.
Your nose looks like an aardvark. While I'm doing that, and I'm looking, what do you guys think about the television, just the shows in general this week from both main companies? As I set out on this mission to find this clip.
Raw was another solid show. Triple H era is well under effect. SmackDown was decent last night. And Dynamite, I only saw the second hour. And the Punk promo. I went back and watched
that.
Frank?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. Yeah, Raw was pretty solid. I mean, it's always going to be a slog, 3 hours, but the idea to just, hey, we're just going to put longer matches and build to some stuff. Even their idea of putting the big, advertised match on at the 10 o'clock hour makes a lot of sense, considering a lot of people dip out in that third hour. But I thought that was the U.S. title match was really good. It was AJ's best performance in a while. Lashley looked great. And I like that they gave some shine back to Theory this week. Had a nice, solid main event with Ziggler. Still some interesting things happening. We saw Loomis again. It was very, very chaotic at times, some of the stuff that was going on. So that it's definitely a difference there for, like I said, us that watch every week. Dynamite was really good. Again, we had that promo. We had some excellent matches. Danielson and Garcia, obviously.
Yeah.
SmackDown was pretty good. I'll say it's not as good as Raw, but it's actually been better lately. There's more focus. They're building up this pay-per-view or PLE, as you will, really well. Sami Zayn had a great night in his hometown. That was cool. That's nice. Yeah, I really enjoyed Sammy's stuff with Roman last night. I thought that was excellent.
Cabana.
Wow. Yeah. But yeah, pretty good week overall. I know as we look at these great Photoshops.
They also said that the locker room of AEW was very upset that Colt Cabana didn't get re-signed to an AEW contract when his contract lapsed, and thought Punk had a lot to do with it, which probably is true or partially true. So much so that Tony Khan then turned around and signed Cabana to a Ring of Honor contract.
What does that even mean?
Isn't it the same company? Like at this point,
yeah.
But it's not even a company. They had a random pay-per-view. They don't have, and they just absorb their belts until Tony Khan's 50 different titles that he likes to have in this company. They can't get a TV deal. I heard there was some issue with rights or something. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, it's pretty obvious that Punk doesn't want to be around Cabana anymore. As we've heard from a lot of people in the past, once Punk gets mad at you, like he's done with you, almost like we talked about on the baseball show, Derek Jeter. His inner circle is very tight, and once you cross him, or he thinks you cross him, that's it.
What is CM Punk's birthday? I wonder what zodiac sign he is.
It could be a nice segment.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's a Capricorn.
He might be he might be a Cancer. He might be. Let's see. Let's see.
This is such an odd thing to check out the show. What's CM Punk Kodiak's son?
Also, as we talk, I'd like to shout out in the corner above Charlie's head there. Thanks for listening to the Baseball Only show, guys.
Yeah. He's a Scorpio. He's a water sign.
Oh, okay.
Us water signs, we are very fickle. We are fickle human beings. We love, but then you screw us, screw you, and that's what happens. So I get it. Now I get it. You know who's also a water sign? Bret Hart. You know who's also a water sign? Derek Jeter.
And my dad. And he's I like to shout out my dad because he's very similar to that when it comes to, you don't cross him.
You don't cross the boss.
And hey, what is Vince's birthday? In August, right?
Who?
Vince's birthday is in August, I believe.
Charlie has a birthday coming up.
Yep, Virgo. August 31st.
There you
go. You know what was a great segment on Dynamite?
What?
I think I know what you're talking about.
The return of Billy Gunn with the Acclaimed. I actually really enjoy that little threesome.
I like that they kind of course corrected there. I just found it hilarious that Billy Gunn, his sons beat him up, but 5 minutes later he's fine because he's got his real sons back, Castor and Bowens.
This is crazy. I cannot find this clip. This is driving me.
Are you talking about the Punk and Vince clip or
Triple H?
Triple H. Oh, the Triple H promo when they were in the ring. Yeah, is that the one where he was?
I mean, I could pull up the whole thing.
Is that the one where he was talking about using their real names and stuff, and we're shooting here?
Yeah.
This is Paul Levesque talking to Phil Brooks, whatever it was.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was fun.
But there was like a minute and 20 seconds of that where Triple H goes, you bitch and complain and want to be a martyr. All this. I'm losing my voice.
Oh,
never.
No, Bob.
Ruthless aggression.
Doing your Vince impression?
Yeah. Man, I wish I had the clip. Next show, the clip will be in hand.
We'll lead it off with that. I know what you're referring to, though. Yeah.
I'll put a link of the whole promo in the comments so people don't think I'm off my rocker. I mean, I am off my rocker.
I know exactly what promo you're talking about. I don't know the keywords to type in to get it, but I know exactly what promo you're talking about. The one you push and you push and you push, thinking that no one will push back. Well, I'm not that guy.
Wow, look at you.
He's got it all memorized.
Look at this.
I know that promo very well.
Wow.
Somebody's going to challenge my knowledge here.
You know what's crazy? I think between the three of us,
we could be the trios champions.
We could be the trios champions.
Definitely.
Frank, can you make that happen? Can you make a trios belt happen for the
NXT? Up next, we got tag titles. We might as well have a trios division.
We would absolutely steamroll anyone, any three people. The knowledge in this stream, this video, is unparalleled.
Agreed.
No trio can match this.
I don't think anybody can just spout off useless, or maybe not so useless, wrestling trivia and baseball trivia and all kinds of random stuff that nobody needs to know about.
No. You know who needs to know about it? Our audience. Our audience.
That's right. That's you guys.
Needs to be the most knowledgeable
we would love to
wrestling fan base.
Yeah.
And transparent. That's what we do. Speaking of the audience, we love you. You guys are the greatest.
500 plus, baby.
500 plus. We will do more giveaways at 650, 750, 1K. We love you guys so much. And girls.
1K by the end of summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
That's a couple weeks, right? If we got there, I don't know.
Give it
Come on,
another
guys.
2 months.
We can do it. We can do it. I've seen random channels that have the most random content do this in shorter time. So
if I have to show my feet, I'll do it.
It's gonna bring in a whole different crowd.
Well, someone in my live stream that I did, they were like, "Would you do karaoke to get 1,000 subs?" I said, "Yeah, I would do worse than that." So let's go.
Next week we're doing the theme song karaoke. You guys just pick the songs in the chat, in the comments.
There was a
More
rumor
embarrassing
floated
song.
that I'm a singer, and I was like, "Okay, if you guys want me to sing, go ahead, go ahead." But yeah, we love you. Check out
You guys.
the baseball only show. Check out the pre-streams. I'm also doing fantasy football leagues where we'll be talking about fantasy football. Yeah, so I'm JML. Charlie, any last words to our great, terrific, wonderful, fantastic, stupendous audience?
As always, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends to tell their friends. Yeah, we got a lot more for you. We have a lot more recording this week before I go away on vacation.
And I go away too. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna be all recorded out by the time I leave. We have the SummerSlam 96 drop today, right?
Yes.
Still?
It came out 8:00 Eastern time on Saturday, August 20th.
Yes.
This program, the weekly verdict, will drop later today. Frank, you want to update people on baseball only? And you can just tell me when you want to record right now. So you just put me on the spot.
Yeah. Guys, yeah. I'd like to thank everybody for really the feedback we've gotten on baseball only lately. I do appreciate it, as I always say, but we've got plenty to talk about. I may not be in the best mood right now to watch baseball, to be honest. I wonder why that is. But I did get to go to a game last night. If it wasn't for my coworkers, I would not have had a good time. But and also Jay for coming along with me. So we hope to drop something soon. If you have any ideas, please give us in the comments there. As far as everybody in wrestling, we're all marks. Stay a mark. It's supposed to be fun, guys. Let's not take this too seriously. Let us do that.
I'm not
We'll
a
take
mark.
it seriously.
I'm a JML.
You're a
You don't
John.
need to turn the fans into a civil war.
No, we don't like that. We're not about that. We're supposed to be a family.
Yep.
There's no civil war. Thank you so much again. Stay tuned. There's a lot of content. I forgot I do, box openings and all that other stuff. So, what's crazy? I looked at the amount of content, actual videos on our channel. We have so much stuff on our channel already.
Oh,
it's crazy. Like, in 2 months of being a channel, our content is almost as much as channels that have been out for like over a year, 2 years, 3 years even. So we love doing this, obviously, or we wouldn't be making all this content. Thank you so much. My sign off is good night and good luck. Farewell. Toodles. See you later. Bye-bye.